Hello everyone, I'm Meher and today I'm going to be demonstrating a visualization that I created. So today I created a visualization on the suicides in United States. I I try to do a visualization based on the both on genders, different age groups, and the methods of committing suicide. So suicide is an act of intentionally taking one's own life, and it's a complex and very serious issues around the world that affects families, individuals, and communities. The key causes of suicide are multifaceted, including depression, societal, environmental factors, economical factors. Today, I try to do a whiz which could show me a correlation between the suicide cases on with both genders, various age groups, and also the methods of committing suicide. So this is the visualization that I did here. You can see this. I created a Sankey diagram. The first one here show me the gender. This shows the age group, which I trying to divide it within a 10 years of range from 15 to 24 to 55 to 64. And these are the four main reasons of committing suicide: the firearm suffocation, poisoning, and the other reasons include uh, the fall, either by cut or several other reasons. So the main insights that I got from this visualization was that firearms were the most common methods of committing suicide in the United States among all the age groups, as guns are easily accessible in the United States. People are committing suicide prefer to do it using firearms, and firearms are the most lethal means of committing suicide. Thus, the death rates it makes the death rate super high. Second is from 2010 to 2020, there was a huge disparity between suicides in males and females. As you can see, that there were significantly more numbers of male that were committing suicide compared to female. And third, that the age group of 45 to 54 for both the genders were the highest who committed suicide from 2010 to 2020. The lowest was reported among the age group of 10 to 14. The firearm remained the most common method of committing suicide for all the age groups except for 10 to 14, where uh, the people in the range of 10 to 14 years old committed suicide using suffocation and firearms. So the order of committing method for the order of committing suicide is the firearms remain the most common one, followed by the suffocation, poisoning. The rest include the other methods, which includes fall, drowning, or cuts. So the my made up insight, the hypothesis which I began with while creating the visualization was that suicide rates should increase within the age, as the common cases of suicide causes of suicide are depression, alcoholism, and financial problem, which are more common in adults compared to kids and young adults. The second one, which I selected, is the most common method of committing suicide in the United States among all the genders, and age group should be the firearms, as firearms are easily accessible in the country. The target audience for this visualization would be the healthcare professionals, including doctor, nurses, and mental health providers who are interested in the data visualization of suicide and want to understand it in a more better way. We public health officials are responsible for uh, forming strategies and policies, and who can look at the different aspects they need to work on to prevent suicides. Third could be a researcher or academics who are working on this field or trying to understand the most common reasons, the methods, patterns of committing suicide. The fourth could be advocacy groups who are focused on suicide prevention, mental health, or related issues. They may use data visualization of suicide rates to raise awareness of the problems of suicide and to advocate for increased funding or policy changes to address the issue. For the data abstraction part, my original data set was a table that I converted to a network, and the attributes were the sex, which is a categorical type attribute. Second was age group, which is an ordinal type attribute. Third was suicide type, which is categorical. And fourth was the number of deaths, suicide deaths, which is a quantitative attribute. There's a derived attribute called value, which extracts the summation of suicide cases from 2010 to 2020. And it's a quantitative attribute. The data is taken, the time frame of the data is 2010 to 2020. Now, the task that I identified for my viz, the first one was to identified the most common methods of committing suicide among different age groups and sexes. Second was to compare the trends in suicide among males and females, and the third one was to summarize the trends in the suicide of both males and females on various age groups and methods of committing suicide. For the marks and channels part, the first that I used was the area. I consider area to be the most expressive and effectiveness for this because I wanted to represent the number of suicides committed by both the sexes, various age groups, and the method of committing suicide. So area was the most effective for this one, as I was able to recognize which gender which gender were committing the most suicide, or which age groups were committing the most suicide. Second was the color hue that I used to determine the trends in the suicide among genders on various ages. It helped me to identify the trends between various different genders, various age groups, and the methods of committing suicide. And this is some of the data pre-processing or data loading that I did for my visualization. So finally, the insight is that guns are the top method of suicides in the United States. So thank you. That's it from my side.